Hello, it's Alex, the Bookubus. Today I'm sharing my most recent book haul, and most of these are vintage horror paperbacks that I got from a second-hand book sale recently, which was awesome, and I couldn't resist. And there are a couple of other things in there as well, and I'll start off with a couple of the newer books, and one of them is Dark Factory by Kathy Koja. This just came out in May. I had pre-ordered it a little while ago, and this is her latest novel. As you know, I'm a big fan of Kathy Koja, and I have already read this, so I'll be talking about that in my May reading wrap-up soon. This is about clubbing and virtual reality and immersive experiences, friendships and love and found family. I was really excited to read it, and it did not disappoint. And this pre-ordered copy is signed, if I can find the right page, signed by Kathy Koja there, which is really awesome. And it also came with a bunch of swag. I'll insert a photo here that I took for Instagram. And very cool. And I forgot to show the back of the book, so you can read the whole blurb if you would like to do so. So yeah, that is Dark Factory. And next up is a book I was sent an advance reading copy of. This is Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions by Anthony D. Great and Anthony J. Rapino. And I was very kindly sent this by the Tonys, so thank you guys. And this one comes out, I believe, in October, and it's a kind of coming of age fantasy story. I believe it is partly set on Halloween, so that's exciting. And this one is about a young boy who enters a contest to create a character for a cartoon that he is obsessed with, and unfortunately he doesn't win, but then kind of life around him starts to take a turn for the worse, and so there becomes like a battle for good against evil type of situation. And yeah, this one looks super fun. I'm really excited to give it a read. And I'm already loving the 80s vibes. As you know, I'm a big fan of the 80s, so yes, really looking forward to diving into this one. And this one also came with a bunch of really cool swag. So we have a mini comic book here, which is really fun. And we also have, let's turn this back over for aesthetically pleasing purposes. We also have a soundtrack to listen to the book with, and I was excited because I was like, oh cool, I actually have a cassette player. But probably even cooler and more accessible for more people is the fact that this is on a USB drive. So I thought that was really cool, and I definitely look forward to listening to some synth-tastic tunes. And as if that wasn't already enough, we also have a 3D viewer, and this contains images of some of the characters, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show them through my camera, but yeah, it's one of those classic ones that you had as a kid where you look through the eye holes and you can flip through the different pictures. So yeah, I think they've done an amazing job with the swag on this one and promoting it. And I have already read a short story collection by Anthony Rapino. It was called Greetings from Moon Hill, that came out a few years ago, and I really enjoyed that. He's a fantastic author, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So that's Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions. Okay, so the rest of the books I have to show you are ones I got from a second-hand book sale, and the proceeds of that sale were going to go to local libraries, so that's awesome. They're mostly vintage horror paperbacks, some paperbacks from hell, type of things, and yeah, a couple of middle grade things, and yeah, anyway, they're all awesome. So let's get into it. And first up is Evil Intent by Bernard Taylor. And as you know, I love Bernard Taylor, and this is one of the only ones of his that I don't already own and haven't yet read. So I was super stoked to find this. It was definitely a gasp moment for me to spot it, and I absolutely snapped it up. And this one is something to do with an ancient curse and a character who is able to kind of have people that have wronged him will meet a grisly demise. So that sounds great, and yeah, I am looking forward to reading more Bernard Taylor. Next up is Valentine by Tom Savage, and this is the book that the early 2000s slasher film Valentine is based on, the one with David Boreanaz. It's a super fun film, and yeah, I've always been curious about reading the book, so I was really pleased to stumble upon this. The film, at least, is about a group of female friends and this very handsome man that comes into their lives, and of course, yeah, they just happen to get picked off one by one. So yeah, I'm not sure how closely the book is to the adaptation, but I'm curious to find out. Blood Ties by Karen E. Taylor, part of the Vampire Legacy. So apparently I need to track down a couple more books in this series before I read this one. But amazing cover art. Look at these sexy vampires just being all vampire-y. And yeah, as you know, I love a good vampire book, so I was happy to find this, even though I don't know anything about it. And yeah, I probably shouldn't read the back because there might be spoilers there, but I was happy to find this. The Night Church by Whitley Strieber. Fantastic cover art, absolutely brilliant. And this is, yeah, some kind of religion, evil, satanic shenanigans, I'm sure. So yeah, that sounds like a good time to me. Water Rights by Guy N. Smith. It's stirring, it's rising, it's hungry, it's time. Great tagline, creepy cover, and yeah, this one sounds like there's some creepy goings on in a reservoir in a British village. Yeah, I'm sold already. That sounds great. Resurrexit by Leona C. Ross with this absolutely badass cover. We've got this goblet dripping with blood. So good. And I think the tagline says it all. Possessed by twisted passion, she risked damnation to raise her lover from the dead. So that sounds great, and this one is in pretty good condition as well, so that's always nice. And yeah, sounds like there's a character making sacrifices in order to resurrect her dead lover, as you do. Good luck, girl. Here we have an anthology, Hotter Blood, More Tales of Erotic Horror, edited by Jeff Gelb and Michael Garrett. I do already have the first one, Hot Blood, so I was really pleased to find this one too. Great cover art, and of course this is a bunch of different authors. Yeah, Richard Lehman, Lisa W. Cantrell, et al., and I'm sure this will be a lot of fun. And yeah, I will let new demon hungers possess me. Can't wait. Thorn by Fred Cyberhagen. and this is part of his Dracula series, so I'm going to have to pick up a few other books in the series before I can get to this one, but I could not resist that amazing cover artwork. So good. And yeah, I'm always down for more vampire action, so I will have to make a start on this series one of these days. And speaking of vampires, we've got another one here, Nocturnus by Sean Ryan, which sadly looks a bit faded, but obviously I wasn't going to leave that behind. It looks amazing. And this one is something to do with a photojournalist who travels to Romania and I guess uncovers vampires there, possibly. So yeah, sounds like a good time to me. The Offspring by J.N. Williamson. Creepy cover with this mummy in some kind of sarcophagus situation, and yeah, this one seems to be about an ancient evil that is birthed into the offspring, and it says, if it is not destroyed, one day it will rule the world. And another Whitley Strieber, The Hunger. This is, I guess, a movie tie-in edition. I have not read the book. I do have another edition of it, but it's a really naff cover, so I was really pleased to find this. This was actually one that my husband spotted, so yeah, it's always great to have two pairs of eyes on the lookout. And yeah, badass cover, and I really enjoy the film, so I really should check the book out one of these days. Again, vampires. I think like half of these books are vampire related now that I'm thinking about it. Because yes, here we go with another vampire book. What a surprise. This is Sweet Blood by Pat Graverson. Absolutely love that cover. I mean, we've got a coffin, we've got one of the O's is a moon, and then we've got a bat flying out. How good is that? Top marks for the cover there. And I'm just scanning the premise on the back, and my eyes caught on erotic thoughts and uncontrollable desires. So yeah, count me in. Guess what? It's another vampire book. This one is Vampire's Kiss by William Hill. She sucks the life out of her men. Okay. This one sounds pretty cool actually, because the main character is a reclusive horror author, and yeah, I guess he meets a beautiful woman who turns out to be a vampire. So sounds like a good start for a good story. Crossbearers by Mark Brellan. The wages of sin is death. And this is an interesting one because when I added it to Goodreads, it only has one rating, but it's a 5-star rating. And it doesn't look like the author wrote anything else. I haven't really dug into researching the author's name or anything, but it was the only one that came up on Goodreads anyway. But super cool cover, and it sounds like it has something religious going on. People being killed left, right and centre, and then it says, in the name of God, they had to be stopped. So I'm curious about this one. If you've ever read it, or if you know anything more about the author, please let me know. The Hunting Season by John Coyne. I have a couple of his other novels already and I still haven't read any, so I really should pick one of his up before too long. And yeah, this one is about a place called Mad River Mountain. I mean, that should give you a clue to probably not go there, but apparently this character and her kids do. And as I'm scanning the back, I'm seeing creatures with a hunger for cold vengeance and a thirst for hot blood. Is this another vampire novel? It's just all vampire novels, isn't it? What have I done? I didn't even realise this one was a vampire novel until now, so that's hilarious. Bethany's Sin by Robert R. McCammon. Absolutely love that cover. The artwork and the colours are just stunning. And this one I was doubly excited to find because it's actually the June pick for Kelly's book club. That's Kelly Hooked on Books. She has a monthly book club called From Hell Book Club, and yeah, I've been wanting to read this one and it was perfect timing to find this recently, so I'll be able to join in with that. I believe this one has some folk horror elements, which I'm always up for, and I was really pleased to find this because it is in absolutely excellent shape. And I believe Bethany's Sin is the name of the town where the story takes place. Yeah, I've only read one other Robert R. McCammon, which was They First, which was good, so I'm excited to read more. And speaking of McCammon, I also found this edition of The Night Boat, which is, yeah, same pocket style as Bethany's Sin. Super cool, absolutely love that skull in the moon situation. And I do have another edition of this, but this one was just so badass and it was also in super great shape, so I couldn't leave it behind. And I think this one is Nazi zombies on a U-boat. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to read that? Twilight Time by Rick Hautala. And is this Val Kilmer? Because I think that's Val Kilmer. Anyway, this one sounds kind of interesting. It looks like it's something to do with a character who has multiple personalities, and also some kind of opening of the gateway to hell. So, yeah, colour me intrigued. Ancient Images by Ramsey Campbell. Always excited to find Ramsey Campbell's books, and yeah, definitely had to snap this one up. It has amazing step back art. How cool is that? And yeah, this one is also in really great shape, so I was very happy to find it. And this one sounds really cool. It's about a long lost film starring Karloff and Lugosi, and apparently it has the ability to maybe kill you if you watch it or something. So that's fun. So this one sounds awesome and I very much look forward to reading it. Transformation by Edmund Plant. Such a badass cover. Love that artwork and the colours. And it says, its intimate touch deformed her body, its loving caress defiled her soul. So that already sounds amazing. And it says on the back, a hideous pulsing organism waits to burst upon the world, infecting all it touches. So yeah, honestly, pretty excited for that one. If you have read it, I would love to hear your thoughts. It's another vampire novel. I bet you thought we were done with those. This one is Blood and Chrysanthemums by Nancy Baker, and pretty sure I read this back in my teenage vampire phase. I do not remember anything about it though, but I'm pretty sure I had it. So I was, yeah, really happy to find this, and I'm really curious to revisit it. So this is a vampire novel, but it describes it as Japanese Gothic. So yeah, that sounds super cool, and I am looking forward to checking this one out again, since I don't remember anything about it. Prototype by Brian Hodge. When the evil is in your blood, there is no running away. I was really excited to find this. It sounds awesome. I have read one other Brian Hodge book, which was Nightlife, which was good, but it didn't quite live up to the premise for me. But this one sounds really good, so I was wanting to read it, and I was really happy to find a copy. So it sounds like some kind of genetic evil that is within a character here. And not only that, but it turns out he might not be the only one. So yeah, I might have to bump this one up my TBR because it sounds really good. The novelisation of the film Fallen. This is written by Dewey Graham, based on the motion picture written by Nicholas Kazan. And yeah, this is a really good movie. It stars Denzel Washington, and it's like a crime, serial killer thriller with horror, supernatural elements. And yeah, like it says on the front, there's this detective, he's searching for a criminal he's already met, already caught, and already killed. But yeah, he is seemingly still out there. But how could that be? Yeah, I couldn't resist picking this one up. And let me know if you've seen the film, and if not, I recommend checking it out. The Watcher by Lael Litke. This one has a very different cover to the UK Point Horror version that I am more familiar with, but this one is a super cool cover as well, with this hand coming out of the TV, which is, yeah, fitting for the story because it's about a teenage girl who is obsessed with this particular soap opera and is always watching it on TV. I read this one not too long ago and enjoyed it, and yeah, I just couldn't resist picking up this US edition because that cover's so good. Next up are a few middle grade books, and first up is Welcome to Camp Nightmare, part of the Goosebumps series by R.L. Stine. This one looks super fun. And is about a boy who goes away to a camp, but people start disappearing and there's definitely something creepy going on. So yeah, I think I might have to pick this one up soon because it looks really good. And another Goosebumps book, Deep Trouble. We've got some Jaws-esque artwork and a tagline that says, "Just when you thought it was safe." And yeah, this one has some underwater exploring going on, but of course there's something scary down there, half human, half fish. So yeah, that one sounds like fun too. I found one of R.L. Stine's Ghosts of Fear Street series. This one is Nightmare in 3D, with this very colourful cover. And this one is number 4 in the series. This one sounds really cool. It's about a character who buys one of those 3D posters that you have to like look at just right to see the image. But once he sees it, he wishes he hadn't, because the thing inside the poster saw him too, and now it wants out. So yeah, that sounds super fun. I also found one of the Spooksville series by Christopher Pike. This one is the first book, The Secret Path, and that cover is just all sorts of amazing. We've got the neon lettering, we've got a gravestone, a crow, a creepy tree, a skeleton coming out of the ground, a castle on a mountain top, lightning, and a big creepy face overlooking the whole thing. I mean, just top marks all around, really. That's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, this is the first book in the series, and we're following Adam, who has moved to Springville, and he soon finds out why it's generally known as Spooksville instead of Springville. So yeah, I've not read any of the Spooksville books, so I was happy to find this one. And last up, something a little bit different, is the autobiography of FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper, My Life, My Tapes. And I love Twin Peaks, and I used to have an older edition of this when I was a teenager, and I gave it to someone and kind of regret that. But yeah, my husband stumbled upon this one at this book sale and thought I might be interested, and I was like, hell yes, what a great find. So even though it's a different edition, I'm still really happy to have it and add it back to my collection. And this is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's the tapes of Dale Cooper throughout his life and leading up to him being an FBI special agent and travelling to Twin Peaks. Let me know if you're a fan of Twin Peaks too. Hello, it's Alex from the future. I bought some more books since I filmed this book haul video and figured I'll throw them in here, edit it all together, it'll be great. So first up are two books that I was very, very kindly sent by my friend Michael over at Horror Gardener. He has an excellent horror booktube channel that you should definitely go check out if you haven't already. I will leave a link below. And yeah, he got in touch with me recently because he knew I am collecting the Dark Forces books, and he found these two and wondered if I wanted them, and I absolutely jumped on that chance. So that was really generous of him, and thank you so much, Michael. So I now have The Game by Les Logan and Magic Show by Laurie Bridges and Paul Alexander. They both have amazing covers and they sound like a lot of fun, so I'm very excited to have these. I look forward to reading them. I've only read one of the Dark Forces books so far. It was The Doll, and it was pretty good, so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading more of them. And now I only have 2 books in the Dark Forces series to find, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, thank you again, Michael. And next up are a handful of books that I got from thrift stores recently. So first up is Cabal by Clive Barker, this really nice hardback edition, and it does have a little bit of damage, but it was super cheap. And it has this absolutely amazing author photo on the back, a young Clive Barker there rocking this mullet. I love it so much. So this was a brilliant find in many ways. And one more hardback is Anno Dracula by Kim Newman, which is, as you can probably guess, a Dracula related story. And yeah, it's one that I've heard really good things about. I've been curious to read it for some time, so yeah, I was really happy to find this one. And yeah, I like that cover with the lace detail and the purple. It's very cool. And I did meet Kim Newman once, very briefly, and he was very nice. So looking forward to reading this one. Sadly, no author photo for this one. But yeah, if you've read this one, let me know your thoughts. Okay, now we have a few paperbacks, and one of them, which I was especially pleased to find, is The Nestling by Charles L. Grant. Amazing cover, and I'm very happy to add some more Charles L. Grant to my collection. I saw the spine of this one in amongst a bunch of other books and gasped and grabbed it. So yeah, was very happy to find this one. I was also very pleased to find a copy of Shadow Eyes by Catherine Potasek. Apologies if I have mispronounced that. This is one I am really curious about. I love that cover with all the creepy eyes. And yeah, the only thing I know about this one is that I think it has some Native American characters and themes. So yeah, really happy to find this one, and I look forward to reading it. And some more vampires here. We have Sips of Blood by Mary Ann Mitchell, and this is from the Marquis de Sade series apparently, and this one looks so familiar. I think I had this one as a teenager. I do not remember anything about it, so I don't know if I read it or not, but yeah, there's something about it that seems very familiar, so I'll definitely have to give this one a go. And yeah, it sounds kind of saucy, so I feel like I would remember it had I read it, so I guess maybe I didn't. But anyway, couldn't leave this one behind. Okay, one more vampire one, I promise. This is the last of them, for now anyway. Song of the Vampire by Carmen Adams. Just look at that cover. It's all embossed as well, and just, they are really going for it. They are giving the performance of their lives for this modelling gig, and I love them for it. So yeah, this is a young adult one. It's an Avon Flair book, and yeah, beware of tall, handsome strangers. Dun dun dun. It sounds wonderful, so I was super stoked to find it. Okay, just two more to go. One of them is Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews, and funnily enough this is a UK edition because her books were published under Virginia Andrews there rather than VC Andrews, but yeah, I am in the US, so I found this UK edition in like a really random thrift store over here, which is kind of odd, but I was very pleased to find it. And also, I haven't actually read this one. I have seen, I think, 2 film adaptations of it, and it's one of those books I've been meaning to read for ages, but I just never stumble upon copies of it. I always see VC Andrews books in thrift stores and stuff, but never Flowers in the Attic for some reason. You'd think that would be the one you would come across all the time. But anyway, maybe the world was just holding out for me to find this particular edition. So either way, yeah, very happy to have this one, and now I can finally give it a read. Okay, and last but not least, even though it looks like absolute trash, this is The Ceremonies by T.E.D. Klein. This is a book that I've been really curious about for ages, and it doesn't seem very easy to find. I mean, obviously I've never found a copy out in the wild until now, and it doesn't seem to be hugely well known, but every time I have seen or heard someone talk about it, it's always been, you know, a glowing review and highly recommended. And it's been so long since I first heard about this book that I've actually forgotten what it's about, but it definitely gives me some kind of folk horror vibes, and yeah, whatever it was that had piqued my interest some years ago, I'm sure is still there. And yeah, when I saw the spine of this one, it was another gasp moment for me, and I lunged for it. And yeah, it has this, what was probably at some point an interesting metallic cover, but it's definitely seen better days. And then it does have some step back art, which, if I can get that in frame and not too glary, but yeah, pretty cool, and it was a bargain, so it's totally still readable, which is the main thing that matters to me. So yes, this was another one of my favourite finds. So that was the extra books in this book haul video, and now back to Alex from the past. Diddle-oo, diddle-oo, diddle-oo. So that is it for this book haul video. I hope you have enjoyed seeing the things that I've found recently, and yeah, I am literally running out of bookshelf space, so I'm gonna have to rein this whole book buying thing in. But yeah, my problem is when there are like book sales going on in the area, I just cannot say no. I have to go to them because it's like, what if I miss out on some amazing gems for really cheap? Like, imagine if I hadn't gone to this book sale, I would not have any of these books right now. I'm really excited about all of these. I am looking forward to reading them. In the meantime, they're just going to have to make do with looking awesome on my shelves. If you've read any of the books I shared in this video, I would love to hear your thoughts on them, or if any of these sound interesting to you and you think I should read them sooner rather than later, then I will, see what I can do and report back with my thoughts. But yeah, I think that is it for now, so I will sign off. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!